All right, we're here today with Jose Solis, U.S. Army. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Okay. Um, could you share a little bit of your background with us?
Yeah. So I'm 39 years old. I was born in Mexico, Central Mexico. State is called Guanajuato. Uh, then my parents moved us to Chicago, where I was raised for majority of my time until I joined the military. Um, so then I was in Chicago when I was 9 years old till I joined the military at 21 years old.
Now, were you 11 Bravo in the military, or what was your
Yeah,
MS?
I joined the army as a infantryman, 11 Bravo,
Now, basic training was
at Fort Benning, Georgia.
okay.
Hmm.
Well, I was at Fort Lewis, where every rock in the world is, but and then of course, was your AIT at Fort Benning too, or did you?
Yep, everything I did at Fort Benning, and then my first duty station was here in Fort Lewis, now Joint Base Lewis McCord.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Now, what did you do over at Fort Lewis?
I was mechanized on a striker unit. I spent almost 4 years there. Um, I deployed with them to Iraq in 09, 2010. Um, and I started as a driver for the striker, loader, and finished as a gunner for you know the striker unit that I was with.
Sounds pretty much like me. I was on the M60 tank. You start out being a driver and end up humping ammo and doing everything else. I mean, yeah, when there's only 5 guys and one of them's a tank commander, you do everything. So,
Hmm.
but did you do most of your time within the United States other than Iraq, or?
After coming back from Iraq, I got orders while in Iraq to PCS to Fort Lewis. I while in Iraq, I enlisted to stay in Fort Lewis for another 6 years, but that was only good for a year
Yeah.
stabilization. So as soon as I reenlisted, a few months later, I came down in orders because I got promoted to E5 to go to Fort Riley, Fort Riley, Kansas. Um, and then I deployed with them to Afghanistan. Then came back from Afghanistan, and then I PCS'd to Fort Wainwright, Alaska, where I finished up my
Yeah.
career. I did 8 years, and I got medically discharged, medically retired from the military.
So you're E6, E5 then, or
I got out as an E5.
E5? So when you got out, you came back here to Wenatchee, or?
After the military, I went back to Chicago. I have a daughter in Chicago that I tried to reconnect with after the military. But being in a big city, big environment, change of scenery, it wasn't fit for me. So I came back to Washington. Washington is where I met my now ex-wife, second wife, and we had kids together. So she had family here, and I met her here, and I came to Wenatchee. I fell in love with this place. So after trying Chicago for a year and seeing that it wasn't a fit, I decided to. We decided to move back to Washington and make our, you know, life here.
So what do you do for work here in Wenatchee? Or?
Well, after the military, I tried everything and everything. I tried school. I did so many courses in college, so many jobs. I was a truck driver. I did the automotive program, machining program, and right now I'm currently working as a maintenance supervisor over at a campground by over in Plain, Thousand Trails. I loved it. I love it up there because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
is a great
beautiful.
place, isn't it?
It's beautiful
Yeah,
up there.
that sounds like a pretty good job there.
It is. It is. I live there. Have my RV and live middle of nowhere where there's barely any people there.
Well, just the mosquitoes.
Yes, mosquitoes. Yeah.
Yeah, or the Washington state bird is what some of them refer to them as. But what what brought you to the bunker down there? I mean,
So ever since getting out of the military, a lot of our veterans friends are facing, the PTSD and everything that they endured during service. So I wanted to continue to serve. I enlisted in the army because I wanted to serve. I wanted to serve this country for the many opportunities that this country has provided to my family. That's the reason I joined. Being that my military career got cut short because I wanted to do 20 years,
sure.
but like I said, I got medically retired because of medical reasons, and but my service wasn't done, so I wanted to keep on going. So ever since getting out of the military, I was involved with a veteran community one way or another. Um, while in Chicago, I attended the vet centers, just to be involved with veterans there. And now coming to Wenatchee, the bunker has been like my second home. They welcomed me with open arms. The first time I walked in there, I think I was dealing with some paperwork with the VA that I needed help with, and I walked in, and that's when they had the service officer there that could help us. They don't do it no more, but I walked in and Mark was there, Dwayne was there,
Yeah.
and they welcomed me with open arms. And yeah, ever since then, I've been involved with them, and now I'm currently their president of the organization. They need younger blood, so I stepped in and they elected me as their president now.
Great. Great. Could you explain a little bit about the food pantry down there? I know you were pretty much the spear point on that, getting that up and running, weren't you?
Yeah, me, Mark, Joe, and Trent, when we were all vet corps navigators, we saw the need that there was a need for a pantry here for veterans, and we opened that in 2020. Um, and Mark got us a spot where we can store the food, and we did a food pantry that was a huge success. And ever since then, we've done many of them, and they've all been huge success. And yeah, it's a place where veterans can, or family members of veterans can come and grab a box of food and take it with them. So
Do you take clothing there too, Jose?
unfortunately, after COVID, everything changed. So unfortunately, we stopped taking clothing because of the regulations that they
Sure.
put in place. So right now, we just only do food.
Well, I'm glad to see that. I know when I was at the old bunker, Pete and when I went down there, he was a supply sergeant, and we were inundated by food. I mean, we were constantly trying to find people that needed food, and different agencies you know, the Gospel House and the Hospitality House and the Grace House with the ladies and everything. Because the more we put out, it seemed, the more just kept coming in the door. Every time I leave with a pickup load, I'd come back and there'd be somebody unloading the pickup.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is a blessing.
Yes,
you
it
know?
is.
And yeah, that's a good deal because there's a lot of veterans, especially these days, that are darn need
Yeah.
of some help when it comes to groceries for themselves and their families. So that's a great thing to be doing.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm also the organizing person for the stand down. So I've been organizing the stand down. This is my 4th year now. I took it over from Dwayne and Ron Bruno. Like I said, they wanted new younger blood to step in, so I did. So I've been organizing the stand down
I
for the
remember
last
when
4
you
years.
and Trent out there mentioned to me, you think we can handle that? I said, well, sure you can handle that. And I've only been to one stand down since, and you got her down pat. I mean, it's well organized, it looks good, and people are moving through there smooth and getting things out. So I think you're doing an outstanding job out there. So thanks very much for that. And
Thank
I'm sure there are a lot of people in the community that are very thankful too. So.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a great turnout every year, and it seems like every year it's getting bigger and bigger with more vendors stepping in. So this year we're looking at a bigger crowd hopefully when it comes to vendors. So there'll be more resources during that day. This year I'm looking at September 20th to have the event. So
That'll be in the Wenatchee Armory.
yep,
Just
same
like
place.
Okay.
And this year I'm thinking of having it a little later than the previous years, just so that we give a chance for all the vendors to show up on time and set up. So this year it'll be from 10 in the morning to 3 p.m. Just so that we have a bigger time frame for bigger traffic and all that. Give the opportunity for people to get there in time and whatnot.
Yeah, I noticed this last time when I went there was a noticeable increase in the information and the vendors that were there from different organizations that I'd never seen before at
Right.
the stand down. And I mean, it was great. I mean, they had a lot of information on all different types of things for veterans. And yeah, and I don't think people realize, Jose, just how big of a job it is to organize something like that. So kudos to you and anybody that helped you. You're doing a great job, and we appreciate it.
No, thank you. And well, I'm definitely in need of help organizing it. So it's a lot of work. It does take a lot of effort, but like I said, I'm more than willing and continuing to do this. It helps me. Knowing that it's benefiting others.
Well, I think I appreciate your service, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that do too, because there's a lot of people that benefit from the work that you do. So,
Thank you.
Are there any other things that you're in your spare time that you're involved with? I mean, you've got so many things going.
Right now, I'm at a point where I'm. Ever since getting out of the military, I put a lot of effort into around surrounding people and events and stuff like that I kind of lost my persona. So lately I've been working on myself, and putting a lot of effort into my mental health, my physical health. That this year that I've, thanks to Tony Sandoval and the John, we've come across some great organizations that are out there, that are willing to help the veteran community, even though they're out of state. They're very, very beneficial for someone that needs the help. So lately I've been, putting that effort into to me to work with to get better so that I can continue to serve. Um, Warrior Path, Warrior Path is one of the organizations that I wish I would have come across a long time ago. Because between Warrior Path and now doing TMS treatment, and that's
Very effective.
very effective. Yeah. So I highly recommend those two. If someone's struggling, because ever since coming out of the military and even during service, that's one of the reasons I got medically discharged. It was for my PTSD. The VA and every medical doctor is trying to, there's a pill for everything out there.
Yeah.
And sure, I listened to them, just so that I wanted to get better. So I shoved many pills down my throat, and none of them worked. And TMS is for that. If TMS helps, if there's been failure, with medications. So TMS is a magnet that they put in your head, and it stimulates your brain, and then along with esketamine. So they combine both of them, and it's like I said, I've been noticing the difference. I've been in treatment for over a month now, so I'm halfway through their treatment right now, and it's like I said, it's something
it's making a difference then.
Yeah.
Now, if someone is interested, another veteran is interested in getting involved with something like that, now who would they contact? Would they come down here and contact Tony or John here at the BSO, or?
For TMS treatment, they would have to go through their primary care provider. TMS, I got it through a referral through my primary.
Okay.
And for the Warrior Path, that's something that Tony and John can set up, and even they can just do it online if they just get on the computer and search Warrior Path.
Okay.
A web page will come on, and there's different organizations that offer it. I went to the one in Virginia, but every organization has the same program that it's as beneficial as one.
Pretty standardized then.
Yeah.
Now your TMS treatment, that's conducted here in Wenatchee then, locally?
Yes.
Okay, so, well, I think that's an important little bit right there to have you shared with everyone else, because it seems like some of the vets, they just don't know that a lot of these things are available, and they just suffer, and
Well, and that's the unfortunate part, that a lot of resources are just hidden gems, trying, that have to be found, and that's something that I've invested in myself this year. I've done, like I said, I've done a lot of work on myself, and I've done a lot of research. A year ago, I was at a very low of my mental health, that I came and asked Tony and Trent. Trent was here as a VSO at that time, and I asked them, I need help. So between Tony, Trent, and a third person, another organization got involved, and they found a inpatient clinic that I attended to. I was there for 45 days. It helped me, but it wasn't enough.
now, was that a VA, or was that a
No, it
private?
was private,
Okay.
but it was covered through the VA.
Okay.
That organization that got involved made sure that it was covered either by the VA or Triker.
Right.
So there was no cost to me. but like I said, at the end, it wasn't enough. So I continued doing some more research, um, and then came back with Tony and said, between Tony and I decided that um, to give Marcus Brain Institute a call to see, if my TVI had anything to do, with that anything. And sure enough, so I went to do their intake um, evaluation, and while I was there, you know, that's the good thing about the veteran community, that we spread, what we
Sure.
encounter, and if it's working for me, it could work for, it might not work for everyone, but it could work for one other person, and that other person is one more that benefits out of it, So while at the Marcus Institute, someone was sharing about TMS, and how it was so beneficial to him, and yeah, came back after being at that evaluation, and went straight to my primary care and requested a referral, and yeah, she put it in, and a few weeks, or it took few weeks or a month or so to the clinic here in Wenatchee to get a hold of me and start scheduling appointments.
Now, is that done locally too, or is that uh, the Marcus Institute that you're talking about? Is that local, or is
No, that's in Colorado.
Colorado?
Yeah. The Marcus Institute is for people or veterans with TBI. So they do evaluation, and if they see you fit for their program, they have a 3-week inpatient program, which I'm getting ready to enroll in, so that they can help you with your, TBI
Sure.
symptoms and stuff like that. But yeah, that's in Colorado.
That's great. That takes a lot of courage, Jose, to do that. I applaud you for that. I mean, uh, I think veterans, they have the courage, but they need the information to know that there's programs available. So if they know a program is available, they got to just kind of stand up. And I know it's hard. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, to get help, you got to let people know that you need help.
Yeah.
That's the way it was for me. So
Yeah.
that's great. I'm glad that it's effective for you. I'd be interested to see what the end results are after you get through all your, and I'm sure you are too. So that's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
Well, I'm really happy with the results so far. So it stopped it. I'm not taking any medication no more, so it stopped me from taking medications. I'm dealing with with my symptoms a lot better.
Well, that's a plus on your mental and your physical health right there. Now, choking down a dozen pills every day, and that you don't know what they are, what they're going to do to you, whether it's going to be negative or positive. And I think that's valuable information that you're sharing today with other veterans, because there's got to be a lot of guys out there that same thing, man. They go to the VA, you get a fistful of pills, and there's the door.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't do you any good. It just makes you walk around like a zombie, and you still got the same problems. And if you got the courage to stand up, you need help. You don't need a maze to run around in. You need somebody that's going to show you the light and help you out and get you back on the road to a better life.
Yeah.
So, but I appreciate you sharing that. I had no idea about the things that you just got to saying, so I think that's valuable information to be put out for other veterans. That's a positive.
No, and I mean, there's so many resources available for veterans, and I'm pretty sure Tony has a list, and I've been like his pretty much guinea pig, on finding all these other resources.
That's okay.
So I hope that between him and I, can come up with a list of all available resources for veterans out there, because, like I said, it's beneficial. and if it can benefit at least one other veteran, that's another
Absolutely.
veteran that will be receiving that help.
Yeah. You're not out there for the numbers, you're just out there one at a time.
Right.
You know, if you can help another brother to get to where he needs to be, and then he helps another, and he helps another, it's all part of the village, all part of the family. So, yeah, that works real good. Was there anything else you'd like to discuss while you're? You shared so much today, Jose. I just been it's just been a blessing to have you come in and have this conversation. This is all good information, and just really appreciate it.
Well, I'm at the bunker, and if anyone needs to reach out, I'm available at any time.
Cool. He's got the food pantry too, so if you're hungry, I think Jose probably fix you up with a little something for your belly too.
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for coming in and sharing with all of us this, Jose, and just appreciate you.
Thank you.